Hi, I'm Steve Shelburne, owner and operator of Shelburne RV here in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee. Well, good morning. We're back here on a bright Monday morning. Hope everybody had a great Labor Day weekend off with your families. So we're back here today. Boys have got lots of projects they're working on. Go around and take a look at some stuff here shortly, but I want to say something real quick about aftermarket warranty. We have several customers who have bought aftermarket warranties, whether it be Good Sam's or Protective or Route 66 or whatever it is you've been purchasing. And so that one is a great example. That gentleman bought a aftermarket warranty and was told that he would only have to pay $100 wherever he took it to have it repaired. Well, that's not really the case, guys. Good Sam's, if you bring it here, you're out of network, so it's $100. Typically, they don't pay any sales tax. They don't pay any shop fees. They don't pay any extra stuff. And it was the same with that one. They did a little bit better, but yeah, so, had some hard conversations with him about that because, he was wanting to leave out of here at $100 and just doesn't work that way. I mean, black tank's messed up. We got some issues there. And so, we charge a hazmat fee. I mean, I'm not digging through your poop. None of those guys want to dig through your poop. And so the only way I can do that is, we do have to charge a hazmat fee to get that cleaned and do what it wants to do. It's just what it is. I mean, it's a crappy job. Nobody wants to do it, but I had to pay somebody to do it. So certain things that they don't cover, shop supplies, don't never cover shop supplies. So, it's a hard conversation to have with those kind of customers who have been told at these dealerships, oh, well, you're only going to pay $100. And I've never seen anybody leave out of here with just $100. It's never happened. There's other stuff that they just don't cover. A lot of the jobs, that one was a great example. They paid for part of the plumbing job, but they didn't pay for all the plumbing job because there was other parts that were included in that plumbing job that they didn't cover. Now, he did call and raise hell with the aftermarket insurance, and they ended up covering a little bit more, but they still didn't cover 100% of it. So it's you can't, it's just hard. Customers come in here mad. They leave mad because, well, I was told it was $100 and that's all I'm paying, and that's doesn't really work that way, guys. Just how it goes. The boys got some projects. Let's go around and look at those. I've got several phone calls I got to make right quick, and then we'll go down here. Mr. Lewis has got a project, and then we'll check in on this roof and see where we're at with the roof. So let's go check those out. Next project here in the shop is this 6536 out of an Alpha. And the customer brought it in and said it wasn't working, but it's got a brand new control board. Actually a pretty clean unit. Mr. Lewis has already ran it, and amp draws were good. Temps were good. So I'm not sure what's going on or what the customer thinks is going on, but we're going to wash it real good. We're going to service that outdoor bearing, which you can see he's got it up on the stand right now. We're going to get that updated. We're going to get everything washed out, and then I'm going to just set it out here and let it run for several hours and see what it does. But pretty clean unit at the moment, but we're going to run it and see, exactly what's going on with it. So one of the problems this customer had was this Anderson cant leak valve. Now, if you look at this real closely, this is all plastic, and they are tough to turn, but this stuff here has changed. Anderson cant leak has been bought out by another company, and they're actually making all this out of brass now, which is a whole lot better solution than what we had right there. But yeah, these if you see these plastic ones, just be aware that they can be problematic, and there is a solution for these. It's a lot better than what that originally was. All right, so next project here in the shop is this Wolfpack fifth wheel. Now you can see something got into that. So the customer had this one pulled from a towing company, moved it for them, and they were going down the interstate, and hit part of a transmission. And there's the transmission still in the still inside that. So yeah, that's good times. So yeah, there you go. If you're missing part of your transmission in the Atlanta, Georgia area, I got it. It's right there. So yeah, stuffed in this camper right here. So there you go. If you're missing it, call me. All right, well, good morning. So my Wednesday basement air appointment is here. The River Ranch ductwork modification. They're here, so I'm gonna go down here and grab this. Mr. Lewis is ready for this, so we'll go ahead and get it in the bay so he can get that done. And then he had a Winnebago yesterday, big tour, that 6537 that's got a bad outdoor fan motor. So he started on that yesterday late. So we'll look at that while we're down here in the shop. But yeah, let's get this River Ranch in here and we'll take a look at that and see what's going on. All right, so you can see they've got the fascia tore off this. The new wall is over here in the box, ready to go. But yeah, I'll do a little structural work over there to get that back in play. But heading in the right direction now. All right, so you can see they've got everything out of here, including the basement air. They do have the new pan installed. They've got the hole cut for the exhaust. The drain's getting ready to go in. They've just got it sitting there. And then, of course, we got to make sure that flapper works correctly. Some of them are bound up. I've seen them in backwards. So now that they got this done, you can see they've got everything insulated and wrapped. Now, the last thing we got to do is this has got to have a screw, put it right here. And then I don't like that the insulation stops right here. There's no insulation right here. This could sweat. So they're going to put some extra insulation on that. But you can see they've got it all wrapped up and ready. And the drain pan is in. So the next thing they're gonna put in is gonna be that ductwork right there. And you can see it's sitting there ready to go. Let's go back here and look at the basement air itself. All right, so the basement air was pretty dirty. So we've got it all washed off. Mr. Lewis gave it a good bath. He's had it running here for a little bit. 77 here in the shop, 78 in the shop, 42 degrees coming out the vent. And you can see how much water that thing is kicking. So this unit is clean. We updated the outdoor fan bearing. You can see there's nothing wrong with this unit. So they're gonna go in here and start fitting this all back in now. Okay, so you can see they are in here, got the ductwork installed. They've got everything fitted, self-tapping screws in there to hold that in place. But now they've gone around also, even though there's a gasket on there, we still tape all that just to make sure there's nothing leaking through. So now that everything's ready, we're gonna go ahead and get this air unit push back in here, get everything married up, and then get it all taped up to it. Okay, so the River Ranch, as you can see, sitting down here in my test area. Went to run it last night and we had zero airflow in the coach. So we found that we had another piece of OEM ductwork that was not correct. So Mr. Lewis is getting this resolved. And then when we tested, we only had compressor 1 running. We didn't have compressor 2. And so we put our test box on it. We had compressor 2. Put the put the lifeline harness for the unit back on there. Only compressor 1. So this does not have Lippard One Touch. This actually has got the Spider Controls system in here. And there's an issue with the Spider Control not initiating compressor 2. So I'm in here resolving an issue. We're gonna fix this a different way because this guy's got to go, and that new control board it'll be fine. So we're going to tie compressor 1, compressor 2 on the lifeline cable together, and that board will allow all of the power saving anyways. So then we can have them have that Spider Control looked at later, and this can be rechanged over. But trying to get this finished up. So yeah, this one here has been a little bit of a bear. So yesterday when I was in here, I couldn't get no air flowing out of there, and you can see how much that towel is moving now. And this rascal has got the air flowing out of it. So let's go in here and see. So let's go over here to, this is a Spider Control. Says it's 74 degrees is what it's showing in here. You can see I've got my thermometer over there in that furthest vent. And right now, this one says 69.1. And we're at 40. That lost out 48. I think that was 48. Let me get back over here. 48.7. So cooling great. All right, so they've got the new skin fitted in there. You can see they got all the doors in there. Working on the J-wrap, and believe it or not, there's not a transmission in there anymore. Lucky there wasn't a propane tank in there when that transmission came through there. It might have been a bigger problem, but so they've got the new doors and the J-wrap they're getting ready to do next, but you can see they've got it all fitted. Just kind of fitted. They ain't done any sealant work yet or not, just trying to get everything kind of seated in there, but you can see how nice that's turned out. There's a J-wrap sitting in the box right there, getting ready to be cut and put installed. All right, another project here in the shop. 6537 came in with fan motor problems and not running correctly. And so Mr. Lewis got to doing some looking here. And this is what the customer came up with. So, didn't buy the right fan motor. Bought some single speed fan motor that is burned up now. I mean, you can see the difference in the OEM fan motor versus this one's got two shafts on it. But obviously the OEM ones are 2-speed. This one's a single speed, and for whatever reason, I don't know what he's done to wire this thing up or if the motor went bad, but it burned up the original board on this. So we're going to update this to the new current board and put the correct fan motor in that one. But yeah, this is what we run into, guys. Got to use the right parts. Trust me, I've tried to find lower cost motors. Coleman made a one-off motor that only fits this, and I haven't found anybody that has one with that shaft size or 2-speed motor. So it is what it is. You got to put the right parts in there. So I had this gentleman come in with this basement air, and it was throwing the breakers and overloading the generator. And so Mr. Lewis got to doing some testing in here. Show me what you found, Mr. Lewis.
A little problem with the capacitor.
That one there was giving birth. So, yeah. So, bad capacitor on that. Mr. Lewis has already ran the unit. The customer does want us to go in here since it hasn't been out in a while. Go ahead and do a service on there. He's got some pets and wants to make sure the coil's clean and everything's working to its optimal efficiency. So, Mr. Lewis is going to pull this out and then take a look and see and make sure everything's good, and then we'll retest. All right, so Lewis got this adventure all finished up. Ended up, he pulled it out, cleaned it, put a bearing in it, capacitor on the outdoor fan motor. Got it back in, the ductwork was good. He's got 19.5 degrees differential on that one. So that gentleman right there is done, and he is heading out. I mean, what do you say to that? You know, backs right into my awning. I mean, I don't know. This is what I deal with. Bad part with all that is that poor old guy, his refrigerator died. He couldn't afford to fix it. And so he went and bought a little cheap residential refrigerator. And so I bought his ammonia refrigerator from him so, you know, I can hang on to it to try to help you guys. So literally probably didn't have 2 sticks to rub together. I gave him $100 for that because the refrigerator does need some work. And then he turns around and backs into my awning. So, you know, do you ask for your money back or do you just go have a good day? I mean, this is the battle, guys. All right, so he's got this all finished up and sealed up, and you can see how nicely that J-wrap turned out. So no more transmission in the front. So he's got it all done and ready to go. So Mr. Lewis has got this one all finished up, put new board in it, got the new fan motor, got the new fan blade. We had an issue with the fan blade. When he tested it in the shop here, it was 79.5, 41 at the vent, 38.1 degrees differential. So that one right there is definitely ready to go. So as you can see, we had quite a bit going on this week. It's been a busy week. The roof on the big Newmar is pretty well finished up. We had to do a little bit of something on the air conditioners. The new air conditioners always come in with a 10 button control board, and since we were reusing the 5-button control boards on there, I had to swap out some boards and some wires and some other stuff. but it's pretty much at that point. They got it on. We got it bolted down. It's ready to go. So I'll do a finish up video so you guys can see the finished product on that next week. But yeah, I had quite a bit going on this week. You got to see quite a bit there. So yeah, we're just finishing up and just had to come down here to the shop. And again, look at this guy.
Yep.
Yeah, he's still around here. So the guy we hired to do Gary's job calls me. Well, I actually called him like 12 hours before the job started, and he did inform me that he had got a higher paying job somewhere else. But I've been meaning to call you. You know, I've been meaning to. I just never got to. So I lied to you last week when I said that was Gary's last week. He's actually been down here this week. So Wade's actually going to start down here next week. So you won't get to see Gary. We'll have to bring him down here for him to see. But was it a busy week, Gary?
Oh yeah. Yep.
So he had lots of phone calls, and his stress level was like right here. So,
Oh, yes.
but that's all right. We got him under control. Next week he's going to be up there with me, and we've got a 1350 next week that we got to get built out and done next week. So he will be back in his natural environment. It's like a deer in a meadow. He'll be back there. He'll be good to go.
Oh, yeah.
So that's where we'll be. That's where we'll be next week. So thanks for watching. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Thanks for all the comments from last week. And as always, this video is
Courtesy Gary approved.
you guys have a great weekend. Thanks.